Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. I was originally going to talk about something else that didn't really matter, but something else came up that again doesn't matter, but I just can't help but not talk about it because of how absolutely unhinged it is. And that is a rant basically by representative or whatever Lauren Boebert. And well, just see for yourself.
Democrat policies are so pathetic and have done so poorly that the left has nothing else to do but troll the internet looking for ways to get offended and then try to target members and strip them of their committees. This is a dumb waste of the House's time. But since the Speaker has designated the floor to discuss members' inappropriate actions, shall we? The Jihad Squad member from Minnesota has paid her husband, and not her brother husband, the other one, over $1 million in campaign funds. This member is allowed on the Foreign Affairs Committee while praising terrorists. A Democrat chairwoman incited further violence in the streets outside of a courthouse. And then the cherry on top. My colleague and 3-month presidential candidate from California, who is on the Intelligence Committee, slept with Fang Fang, a Chinese spy. Let me say that again. A member of Congress who receives classified briefings was sleeping with the enemy. This is unacceptable, and this would never be...
Time's expired. Gentleman from Florida.
Wow, lady, projection much?
Democrat policies are so pathetic and have done so poorly that the left has nothing else to do but troll the internet looking for ways to get offended and then try to target members and strip them of their committees.
Aren't y'all up in arms right now about critical race theory, something you don't understand? People wanting to tear down your loser participation trophies in the Deep South being another notable instance. And as for kicking people off committees, didn't you and other Republicans all basically jump on kicking Liz Cheney out of committees, even though she's arguably like a very good conservative in terms of what she believes in and what she votes for, but because, well, she treated Orange Man very wrongly, and so we gotta punish her for that. Hello, again, projection much?
This is a dumb waste of the House's time.
I am so glad you recognize you are wasting everyone's time here. So yeah, that was basically a entirely unhinged rant. It's full of like lies and half-truths and misrepresentations. But it is true that Ilhan Omar's husband was given overall a total of $2.8 million worth of contracts. But it's a little more complicated than that. The whole spy Fang Fang thing, I don't know about that. That again just seems kind of wild and weird. Now, here's the thing, right? The core of this, there is arguably kind of a point to me talking about this. On the one hand, that was absolutely unhinged, right? And so two aspects of that part that I want to quickly talk about. America, why do you let this happen in what's supposed to be the halls of democracy? Just to give you an example, here north of the border, we've also had some very deranged people, and I'm sure there's scandals and stuff, but for example, now former MP Derek Sloan was basically kicked out for just saying some absolute bonkers stuff. And he did not win re-election, by the way. And then we also have the infamous Maxime Bernier, who's just, well, Maxime Bernier, and he has lost re-election bids twice. So, I mean, really, come on, get a grip. This is entirely possible. Not saying we still don't have crazy conservatives. You can still have that, especially for entertainment purposes. And that's the second part of this that I actually want to focus on. Lauren Boebert's unhinged rant. It's all ridiculous because, sure, we can all recognize that it is very unhinged and just full of so many mistruths and misrepresentations. But the targeted audience doesn't care about any of that. So far, near as I can tell, over on Twitter, for every tweet saying, oh, wow, what an unhinged lady, there's another tweet saying, queen, yes, queen. Nothing but fire and facts. And now, because we're all sharing and talking about this, even more people are seeing this unhinged rant, including people who might think, wait, what? These are all things that really happened? Because again, this touches on something we've talked about before on this channel, putting things behind a paywall so that if you actually try and Google some of these terms like million contract Ilhan Omar's husband, or California representative sleeps with Fang Fang, etc., etc., the top results are all from notable conservative media outlets. New York Post, The Sun, I think like Daily Beast, Daily Caller, something like that. In short, it's basically all for anyone who wants to try and find out more about this. Instead of actual like investigative or nuanced takes, they're going to see results from media that is going to reinforce their either preconceived notions or biases towards the other, in this case being Democrats. And unfucking fortunately, thanks to me making this video, I am now complicit in this. There are people who may watch this and think, wait, what? Are these actual things? And then you may go and find this and you may think, wow, that seems really convincing. I can't believe I wasn't told about this because, yeah, media is kind of a joke in the West right now. And this isn't necessarily like a call out to the left or anything like that. This is more like, hey, let's actually just be aware of the bigger picture here, because all of us talking about Lauren Boebert and how rightfully deranged she is and just how crazy all that was. What a lot of us aren't talking about, hence why I wanted to make this, is that we aren't talking about how if people wanted to find out more about these things that she's claiming, either to see if she's telling the truth or to debunk it, unfortunately, some of the first results you're going to get are very biased and in her favor because it's right-wing media that doesn't put stuff behind a paywall. And again, there's a lot of people who are perfectly happy to watch her rant and think that she's actually making a whole lot of sense. That's how bad the situation in the discourse has gotten in America. That 50% of people can think this is a totally like rational response from a very sane lady, and wow, this lady is unhinged. And there's no medium. And unfortunately, the search results, if you want to try and delve into this more, are all from right-wing sources that, again, crucially don't put their stuff behind a paywall. And so all of us, when we talk about this, including me right now, we are all complicit in actually bringing potentially far more eyes and attention to not only this radical right-wing crazy lady, but also to sources that support her and her outright outlandish claims. That's a really big problem that more of us should be aware about, but near as I can tell on the fucking Bird app, I'm the only one talking about this or thinking about this, and that is definitely what's bothering me today.